letter. He said, والفعل يعرف بقد والسين وسوف وتاء التأنيث الساكنة. He says that the verb is known by قد. The word قد, if it enters upon something, that thing is a verb. That thing is a verb. You do not use قد for a noun, right? So the word قد, like قد سمع الله, قد سمع الله, and قد here it means emphasis. It confirms and emphasizes, asserts, solidifies. قد سمع الله, سمع الله, Allah heard. قد سمع الله قول التي تجادلك في زوجها, سورة قد سمع, right? سمع الله, Allah heard. قد سمع الله, now it means Allah surely, definitely, right, heard. So قد, when it enters on the verb, it means to solidify. It has other meanings also. So here it entered on a verb that is in the past tense. سمع, heard. قد سمع, right? It could enter also on the verb that is in the present tense. قد يعلم الله, قد يعلم, Allah surely knows, right? قد يعلم الله, right? So it enters on the verb that is in the past tense or in the present tense. That is قد, the word قد. قد is one of the signs that whatever comes after it is a verb. طيب. بقد والسين, the letter sin, right? The letter sin, this is now is used for the future, and it's used specifically for the near future, right? سأستغفر لك ربي, right? As in the Quran, يعني Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam told his father, and this is before he was prohibited from asking forgiveness for him. But he promised, he said, sa, meaning I will. Sa here, this sa means I will. Right? سأستغفر لك ربي, I will seek forgiveness for you. سأستغفر. So this sin, it does not enter on a noun, right? Sa. So if you see it, which means that something will happen in the near future, astaghfir is I ask forgiveness. سأستغفر, meaning in the near future I will ask forgiveness. طيب. Also, and this is special now for al-fi'l al-mudari', the present tense, right? So you cannot use it for the past, right? And show us that you are a real Ajami, you know. سقتل or سسمع, right? It's something in the future, so it has to enter on a verb that is the present tense, not the past tense. It cannot enter on something that is a past, right? طيب. Also the word سوف, سوف is also used for the future. سوف is also used for the future. سوف أستغفر لكم ربي, right? سوف أستغفر لكم ربي. So I will seek forgiveness for you from my Lord. سوف is for the future, but it is like now not as near as sa, يعني far future, if you wanna use that. بقد والسين وسوف وتاء التأنيث الساكنة. تاء, the letter تاء. التأنيث, feminine. الساكنة, ساكنة meaning has a sukun at the end. So now if someone, you're talking about someone that he ate, you say what? أكل, right? هو أكل. Now if it was a female, you say about it what? أكلت, أكلت. This is the تاء التأنيث الساكنة. It's a ta it is meant for feminine, to sign to the feminine, and تاء التأنيث الساكنة has a sukun on it at the end. So this is also specific here to the past tense, the verb in the past tense, and it comes at the very end of it, like قال. This is for the male. قالت for the female, right? She said. قالت, because of this ta at the end, we know it's a female. قالت نملة, as in Surah An-Naml, right? An ant said, right? قالت نملة, right? When she spoke about Sulaiman and his soldiers, right? So قالت, this تاء التأنيث الساكنة, it enters on a verb in the past tense, and it signifies that it is speaking about or referring the verb, the action, to a female, right? And this ta is a sakin ta, has a sukun on it, qalat, right? So this is one of the signs that this is now a verb. So these are the signs for the verb. قد والسين and سوف and تاء التأنيث الساكنة. طيب. Now الحرف, the letter. الحرف ما لا يصلح معه دليل الاسم ولا دليل الفعل. The verb, عفوا, the letter, he says, what is the sign of it? The sign of it that the sign for the noun and the sign for the verb do not go along with it. So now if you want to know and distinguish a letter from a noun or a name, first use the look for the signs of a noun. So now it's not a noun. Look for the signs of the verb. You discover it's not a verb. So now what is left is, it's a letter. And they mention, there's one line of poetry by Al-Hariri alayhi rahmatullah. He says, والحرف ما ليست له علامة. والحرف ما ليس له علامة. يعني the harf, the letter, is that which does not have a sign. Right? فقس على قوله تكن علامة. Right? يعني go along with my statement that letter has no sign, then you will be a allama, you will be very knowledgeable then. Right? So this is the sign of the letter, that it does not have a sign. Right? So do you see, for instance, let's say if you pick a letter like هل, let's say هل, right? You don't see يعني في هل, على هل, هل, right? No, nothing like that, right? There is no such a thing, right? Or هلي, right? هل becomes هلي because has في before it, في هلي. There's no such a thing like that, right? There's no such a thing. So it's not a noun. Now try the signs of the verb. قد هل. There's no such a thing. هلت. تأنيث الساكنة. Doesn't go with it. Right? سهل. سوف هل. It doesn't work with it. Right? It does not work with it. Therefore, هل is a letter. Right? حرف is a حرف. طيب? So this is the case. That's enough of Ajrumiyyah today, I guess. Right? I hope you have the text, because without the text all of this is just we are wasting time, right? So as I mentioned before, this is not really an explanation of Al-Ajrumiyyah, But we have brothers and sisters who are upon different levels. So we'll go through the text. Yani some of you are more advanced than the others, right? So we'll go through the text, so at least you can tell, what these words mean, and you can familiarize yourself with the text. So then the next step is to study it with more details. And already some of you who are more advanced, they are using التحفة السنية. And if you read that, you will find he's giving you much more details, alhamdulillah. Yani the word qad, for instance, the different meanings of it, and when it is used for, we mentioned only emphasis, like solidifying something. He will mention, for instance, it could mean that, and it could mean at-taqrib also. At-taqrib, yani that something will happen soon, right? Like what we use in the iqamah. قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة, right? قد قامت. قامت is what? Is a verb. Why? Because it has ta'tanith, and because قد is entered on it, right? قد قامت الصلاة. Someone might say, no, it doesn't. The ta'tanith is sakina. It has a sukun on it, and we are saying قد قامت الصلاة. This ta has a kasra on it. So what's the issue? Now in Arabic, you cannot have two consonants together, right? So قد قامت الصلاة, right? So you have قد. You see, قد has a sukun on the dal, because the next letter is a qaf with a fatha. So we say قد قامت, right? Now, if we have, for instance, Maryam, قامت Maryam, right? You say قد قامت Maryam, right? So قد قامت Su'ad, right? Why? Because Sin in Su'ad has a dhamma. Mim in Maryam has a fatha. So since Maryam has a fatha, then is okay. But now if you have two letters next to each other that has sukoon, one at the end of the word and the other one is the first letter of the next word, like as-salah. Now this alif, right, has nothing on it, right? It has a sukoon. So in order to join it, you say قد قامت الصلاة. You put this kasra on the ta, not because it has an original kasra, but if you don't do that, you cannot join. You're gonna stop. You're gonna say قد قامت الصلاة, right? But if you wanna join, then you have to put that kasra there. قد قامت الصلاة, right? And some of us would say قد قامت الصلاة. That's wrong, right? قد قامت الصلاة, right? قد قامت الصلاة, not قد قامت, قد قامت, right? قد قامت الصلاة, right? So this now, قد قامت الصلاة, is not, salah is already established, but it is about to be established. التقريب, right? And he gave an example also in the book التحفة السنية. He says قد غربت الشمس, right? The sun has set, right? Now this could have the two meanings: التحقيق, confirming, solidifying, or التقريب, that it is about. He said, if you look at the sun, it still didn't set, but the disk is going down, you say قد غربت الشمس, meaning it is about to set. But it set already, the disk is gone, then you say قد غربت الشمس, now meaning definitely the sun has set already, right? I think you read those examples in there. He put in the footnote, right? And the likes of that. But I didn't want also a scene and sawfa, he gives examples for them and like that. It's not our intention to go through the details of that. And like one of the explanations also, it mentioned that the best sign of, or the best way to know the letters, right, is to basically list them, and then he listed all of them, more than 100 letters. I don't think we are interested in doing that, right? So if you know each and every letter, khalas, you cannot miss any one letter, because sometimes you might be, how can I tell, the best way of knowing the letters, right? Like we mentioned, the best way of knowing the nouns is referring something to it, right? You refer an action, you refer a quality. So if you do that, then that thing is a noun, right? That thing is a noun. The best in terms of knowing the letters is to know them and list them all. This way you are sure you will not miss any one letter, right? But then we're not interested in doing that. We are just going through the text to get a feeling of studying Arabic and the way they present the Arabic language, the grammar of it, and also to be familiar with the text. And in this way, if you start memorizing it now, just one line as you see every week, by the end you would have memorized it, and you know the meanings of the words here and there, right? And then you need to expand on studying it. For those who are a little more advanced than the others, I think is very beneficial for them, right? But then those who are just starting, they might want to just skip this or miss it. It's up to them. It's just an extra thing that we are doing because of a request that came, to go through this. So we are doing that, right? So we are doing that. And the text that I am using is, or the explanation that I'm using is, you can see so tiny, so small. It's just, the text above and just few footnotes under. So we're not interested in going, in details. We're just concerned about the words in the text, knowing what they mean, and briefly knowing the different things in there with some small explanation, right? That's what we are going to do. Next time it's Babul I'rab and Aqsamul I'rab. Those who will benefit the most are the ones who are a little advanced. Maybe they have done Medina books 1 and 2 and maybe started in 3, or they are working on 3, and they want to get a feeling of a text of the Arabic grammar, right? That is one of the texts that the beginners are using in studying the Arabic language. So those are the ones who will benefit the most of this. It will just push them a little bit, because of the English that is used to, guide them more into knowing those different meanings that are contained in this booklet. As we go more, you will find that there will be more terminology coming in, right? And it might be somewhat unpleasant for some of us, right? But then you requested, so therefore we are doing it, right? And I hope you will enjoy it, inshallah. And as I said, every time it's just one line, so it's not too much, right? So we're not overly saturated with the information. But the least you can do is just get you the text. This is something you can print from the internet, right? The same as the one you have, yeah. Yes, it is on the internet, yes. Many sites. Just Google it. The Sheikh Google will take you to it very fast.
How many people requested this class? Be honest.
What is the objective? What is the benefit behind this question, other than encouraging others to study more? طيب.